Hello and welcome to the MicroInsurance Center's instructional video number 2 on how to use the Landscape Studies interactive map. The map contains a number of user-friendly features that make it easy to access the information presented. This video will review the second of 2 key uses of the map. This video will show you how to use this interactive page to analyze the data presented, including how to create and export graphs, as well as how to access the data directly. Please be courteous and cite the MicroInsurance Center whenever you use our data. So far, in the first video, we have shown you how to create a map of one indicator and export your map. If you would like your map to include a second indicator, this can be done by adding a symbol. Return to the Indicators box in the upper left-hand corner and select the indicator you would like to display as a symbol. Let's choose Urban Population. Bookmark this indicator by selecting the star located here in the upper right-hand corner. Now let's go back to Microinsurance Total Coverage as our first indicator. This bookmark indicator will remain selected even as we change indicator categories. Now, as we scroll over the map, we will see both the selected and bookmark indicator displayed. To show the indicator on the map, we need to select this proportional symbol button. To hide the symbol, just select the button again. Now that we have shown you how to create maps with 1 and 2 indicators, let's talk about how this site can be used to analyze microinsurance. To help visualize the relationship between microinsurance and other indicators, or how microinsurance has grown over time, we can use the graphs available in this window. We can increase the size of the graph just by dragging down. Now let's choose a region to focus on. Let's choose Africa. The first 2 graph options are straightforward column and bar graphs. To adjust the scale of the X or Y axis, just select the maximum value and enter the value you would like to change it to. We can sort the data a variety of ways here with this sort bar chart option. You can sort highest to lowest, alphabetical, and so on. The bubble graph is just like the column graph, but with bubbles instead of columns. We also have a time series option where we can directly compare countries. As an example, let's select Kenya, Senegal, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. Here you can see the different speeds and volumes of growth countries have experienced. Again, remember that the graph corresponds with the indicator you have selected in the left window, and you can change this. Now let's go back to both Africa and LAC regions. The final graph is a scatter plot. Now this allows us to compare relationships. For example, let's select total microinsurance coverage in the y-axis. And in the x-axis, let's select total literacy rate. Here we see an obvious and unsurprising relationship between our 2 indicators. Countries with higher literacy rates have greater microinsurance coverage. The colors of the dots represent geographical region, and by scrolling over a dot, we can see the country name and corresponding indicator values. To add a third indicator to your scatter plot, select the bubble size option at the top. For our example, let's select GDP per capita under the economy category. Here we see that there's a definite relationship between higher GDP per capita and higher literacy rates, but there is not necessarily a relationship between GDP per capita and microinsurance coverage. To export a graph you have made or the data you are working with, select the Export button in the lower left-hand corner. You may have to minimize the size of your graph a bit. Select the Export button, a window will pop up and you can choose Export Data or Export Graph. Data will be exported in a CSV file. Another way to view and export the data you are working with is to select the Data Table option here at the bottom. To export from this table, select the arrow symbol in the upper right-hand corner. This concludes instructional video number 2 on the MicroInsurance Center's interactive map. Please address any questions to mingram@microinsurancecentre.org. That's MINGRAM@microinsurancecentre.org. Thank you.